Alrighty, so today we're going to be going over an updated guide for Tears of the Kingdom. We're still going to be using update 1.2.0 because 1.2.1 released a lot of patches for the duplication glitches and stuff like that. So if you want to keep duplication glitches and stuff like that, keep the update 1.20. So today we're just gonna go ahead and wipe our old mod folder, and then we're going to restart Yuzu. Now for Yuzu, if you have the early access, it does come with some increase in performance. For the Steamdeck in specific, I've noticed like a decent upgrade when you go from like the regular to the upgraded. It's like a couple bucks a month, so if you want to increase in performance, that one's a good idea to have. So there we got just 1.2. Now in the description, I'm going to have a shader cache for you guys to download. Sometimes the shader caches don't work for some reason on the Steam Deck, but if you have one of those, then you can open up this guy right here, open transferable pipeline cache, and that would pull up your shader cache. For some reason on mine, it deletes the shader cache every time I try to go to use one. But I'll put one in the description anyway, and if you guys find another one, you just basically drag it and drop it in here and replace it with whatever you have. So now we're gonna open up the mod data location. It's empty. Then in the description as well, I'm also gonna put this. It's an updated mod list. We're just gonna extract it here. Wait for this to finish. Cool. And then in this folder, there's going to be a handful of options. There's going to be a lot of different things that we can pretty much just modularly select instead of just kind of like a drag and drop process. So these other mods, it looks like teleporting, dispenser, streamlined. These are all kind of cool, I guess. They all help, I suppose. So it doesn't really look like I would want any one of these, so it's more up to personal preference on those ones, I guess. Now controller and UI fix, these are pretty cool. These are actually really helpful. Let's see, what's the port to 1.0? Cool. Says it's compatible. Cool. So let's see. I guess I want to use the Xbox one. So I'm gonna just go ahead and I think we just drag and drop this one into the mod folder, or no, it's ROM F. I'm not sure where the ROM S folder goes. I'll double check in a second. So taking a look at this controller's layout, this looks like it would mock the Steam Deck's UI pretty well. So we will drag that into our mod folder. And there's all these other, oh wait, never mind. There's a Steam Deck one right here. Would you look at that? So I guess if you're using the Steam Deck, let's just go ahead and use that one. And then we will put the Xbox one back. And then of course, if you're using other things, like if you're using like a PlayStation 5 controller, you can have this one, which is pretty snazzy. Also, those are different controller UIs, geez. So now moving on to the next section, we got fog optional. Let's see. Usually no fog is a really good idea for performance increases. So it says optional combined base fog mod with corresponding interior add-on. We want something that's compatible for 1.2. Let's see. Interior add-on, Surfrost. Better fog, better fog, better fog. Defogger base. So this one says it's compatible. And then I'm guessing that this one and this one are the ones that we want to use, because it says to use it. So since we're running 1.20, we'll go ahead and snag these mods. Sky Island Fix has just to choose one. Let's see. Do not use with dynamic FPS resolutions. Okay, so we actually do want to use dynamic FPS resolutions, so we'll hold off on that. Of course, you got a bunch of these for better setups. We are going to shoot for... Let's see, we're going to shoot for this one, because that's going to give us the best performance. It's going to look a little shitty. But it should be okay. We're also going to snag this 1080p one. We're just going to give it a shot as well, and test trial both of them. And then dynamic load improvement, graphics disable, graphics disable, graphics disable. It sounds like we kind of need all of these. So let's go ahead and put those into our folder as well. And then go back. Resolution, we already got that. Shadows. Well, it's gonna look ugly, but if we go with this one, that'll give us the best performance. Obviously, if you're running on a better setup, you can run with these ones. So we're just gonna run with the 256 by 256 shadows. Unfortunately, cool. So cheats. Let's see, 1.2. Move speed, no fall damage. I think this one sounds pretty cool. The item pickup multiplier. We'll just go with ×4 because we don't want it to be too crazy. This one sounds fun, just to make things a little bit easier. We'll just put that in there. I still kind of like it to be a little bit of a survival game, so I'm not going to do like the infinite all that stuff. Infinite arrows is definitely helpful. Climb speed ×2 sounds pretty helpful. But I don't want it to be completely like unfair and unrealistic, so we'll just stick with just those for right now. So now let's hit properties. We got all these guys here. Most of them shouldn't be incompatible except for this guy, the resolution cheat. So we're gonna rock with the 720p cheat for right now. We're just gonna rock with that one initially to see how well it works. And then if you guys want to look at my settings real quick, So for the system, I got docked because it seems to struggle running 60 FPS really bad. So we're just gonna pop it at the 30 FPS kind of thing. Speaking of 30 FPS, I believe it should be in there. And then the memory layout, for some reason, if you do extended, it started having glitching. So we just keep that at 4. CPU, unsafe looks good, and then having all of these checked is good. Graphics, Vulkan, you always want to use Vulkan. Use pipeline cache, that's your shader cache. It helps, has a massive increase in performance. And then we want a 416 by 10 specifically on the Steam Deck because that the Steam Deck's aspect ratio is 16:10. And then we're gonna rock with the 720p resolution for right now, AMD super resolution, no anti-aliasing, and then we're just gonna, I have the sharpness at 65%. Anti-stop drift at 16, and then just mock all these settings that I have here. So use pipeline cache, enable reactive flashing, medium quality on the ASTC recompression mode, and then everything else is mostly the same. Cool. So with all that, the only thing we're not leaving on is the 1080p mod. We'll try that. If we get good performance, we'll give it a shot. But in my experience, usually it's sticking to 1080p gives you the best results possible. Pushing anything past that can sometimes be a struggle bus for the Steam Deck. It has a hard time running it already. So trying to stick with 720p and kind of making the game look a little bit ugly will at least make the game in a playable state. There's some people who say that they can get better performance out of it, but personally, Breath of the Wild never ever ran good on the Steam Deck, so Tears of the Kingdom is just gonna be just as equivalent as a struggle. So, and the reason why I'm going back to the Steam menu for this is specifically because with the settings here, in the battery, if you guys have like Decky installed and all that fun stuff, we get this cool little performance overlay that can help us keep an eye on things. You get a frame rate limit, but most importantly, you get the manual GPU clock and GPU clock frequency. This is essentially just making sure that the GPU is running as powerful as it can be. That specific setting I've noticed has helped out immensely with the performance on the Steam Deck. And then this, of course, right here is the shader cache building. Always let it do that. The more you play the game, the better that this gets because it builds up all your shaders, makes things easy. Sometimes it takes a fat minute to load, but that's okay. Let's see what we got going on here. The UI is working, that's good. So the UI fix is working because without that, this stuff doesn't load, or you just get a glitch over here or a black screen. So that's good to see that that mod is working. Alrighty, we dip down to 20. It's okay-ish. I specifically chose this area to start in because I was having some kind of garbage performance with it earlier. So I wanted to see if it would struggle equivalently. And it looks like it kind of is for the most part. but it does look like overall it's doing a little bit better. Let's see. Let's fast travel and see what we get. Oh, wrong button. All right. Looks like this area is struggling pretty hard. And then it gets a little bit better. You can kind of see the low shadows. Those low shadows kind of, they suck really bad. Just curious here if we oh, we can't change that. It seems to like stutter really bad for a hot minute, then it gets a little bit better. So let's guess let's just try over here. Still getting some decent performance. It's not too bad. I've noticed that the micro stutters have gone down quite a bit. So that's one huge bonus, I guess, to this new texture or mod fix pack. Seems to be doing okay. Let's see. It doesn't look like the Steamdeck mod for that worked. We probably just gotta install it like a more special way. So let's go back to where we were. Oof. Yeah, this area is kind of a little rough. Shrine performances are always significantly better. Usually shrines don't really run without issues. Just runs out like a solid 30 without any issues. Let's try up in the sky to see if there's any improvements over there. Seems to be doing okay for the most part. There's some combat, so let's go check out what that'll give us. Shit. Not too bad. So I noticed before with the previous performance mods that we were been using is that it would try to push 30 FPS more often than not, but it would have major input lag and other lags as well. But I noticed with this new one, it tries to target 20 a little bit more. But the whole micro stutter thing seems to be doing a lot better. The micro stuttering seems to have gone away. It does suck that it's running at 20 FPS. Solid, decent amount of the time. But the overall consistency has improved. the town still has some brutal FPS drops. Does get better, but when it first loads up, it's a little rough. Well, cool. I guess we'll call it a day on this video. I just found some new mods that should help improve the overall performance. It does look like it did have a small impact. It does look like it's a lot more consistent for sure. I will create any updates if I find any more important mods that will help out. If you guys have any questions or anything you guys would like to see, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to respond to them the best I can, okay? Peace.